Hello, it is June 11th, 2019, and we have a heater for you. Coming live from my house because we watched the end of the NBA Finals Game 5. Got an entire recap for you of that and also everything else happening in the world. Plus, an incredibly inspiring and electric interview with a man who captivated the millions and millions of humans on the internet and across the world with his performance last week on AGT. Yes, America's Got Talent. Superstar is our guest at the end of the show. You're going to want to hear that. You're also going to hear Avicii's new album called Tim, He's Alive. Heard it this weekend. They even prefaced it in the album like he left thousands of songs behind, 200 some songs behind under different categories of like, I want this shit out and stuff like that. Just making excuses for them to continue to make songs forever. By the way, I respect it. And Tim, if you're listening, I'd love to have you on the show.
Yep.
I would love to have Avicii on the show.
It would be a real treat.
It would.
I want everybody to know that if Avicii is available, I would like him on this podcast. Okay?
Hey, Veach, hit us up.
Tim. Because Avicii died.
Yeah, Tim's alive.
I've run into some controversy when I've said this in public, by the way. A lot of people have told me that I'm being rude to his family by saying he's still alive. I think the complete opposite. I think I'm being nice to the family, personally. Let me give you a little hope. There's an island out there. Because he's about to drop in on Christmas a couple years from now. Big old beard and a mask. He's going to have a couple more heaters, too, by the way. Speaking of heaters, if you want to go watch a musician like Tim, probably not going to be on tour for a while, but you know what I'm saying. If you want to go watch a musician, if you want to go to a sporting event, if you would like to go to any live event that is happening across the country, on planet Earth, and on the moon. Listen, I've made plenty of terrible choices financially. I've talked about it a lot of times. I mean, I got an aquatic vehicle. It's supposed to be elite on land and sea. The damn thing doesn't float. It's a sinking four-wheeler. Actually, it's an eight-wheeler because there's four wheels on each side. I bought a professional wrestling ring just because I heard I could. That was a wild scene when that thing showed up on an 18-wheeler. I bought a Cadillac Escalade the day I signed, the day I got drafted, because I didn't fully understand what a signing bonus meant. That money didn't come for 3 months. I've done a lot of dumb things, but know that as soon as they open up a ticket to go to the moon, I'm fucking in. Just want to let everybody know that. I've thought about this over the weekend because they are offering up tickets to go places in space.
Yep.
I've thought about it plenty of times.
Let's go.
I've thought that I probably shouldn't do this because fatality level is probably pretty high. I've watched the videos of those Apollos just go ahead and disintegrating into pieces and people dying. But at this point, if Elon Musk is running shit and he's selling tickets to the moon, I'm fucking going to the moon. Me and fucking Neil.
To be honest, it's the best way to go out anyways.
Me and fucking Buzz, too.
The final frontier.
Me and Buzz are going to go up there. I'll buy him a ticket.
He'd gladly go with you. He can show you the ropes.
Well, I think I'd go with him so that anybody who gets on his ass about not going originally, he can say, like, been there twice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
And if I'm going to a live show on the moon, I'm going to use my friends from SeatGeek for the tickets. Because SeatGeek scans all the other ticket buying platforms on planet Earth and the moon to make sure you're getting the best ticket available for the best price available. They are going to make sure that you're not spending more money. They're also going to make sure the ticket that you buy is the ticket that you get because SeatGeek are your friends.
Best friends.
I think that's a good way to put it.
Great people.
SeatGeek are your friends. And they're a very easy app to use. All it takes is a couple taps to buy tickets to something. And not only are those tickets cheaper than every other app or platform, right now with promo code PAT, you get $10 off your first order.
Oh, nice.
Promo code McAfee, $20
Wow.
off.
Jesus.
Isn't that crazy? So it's a little self-awareness. If you're not rich yet, use the McAfee, get $20 off. If you're rich already, use PAT, get $10 off. You're alive, but are you living? Go live and experience something live. Now let's get to the conversation. Okay. We have a series in the NBA Finals. Did we think that Kawhi Leonard, that other guy, the Sia guy, he's real Siakam, by the way, out of nowhere, Siakam. I'm surprised as much as I watch NBA basketball. Everybody knows it.
Of
dude.
course.
Yeah.
Every quarter, every game. That's what I say.
Right.
Yeah, probably too much, to be honest.
Too much basketball. People are like, Pat, you're watching too much basketball. I didn't know this Siakam guy existed until this series. Dude is a baller.
Very good.
This Toronto Raptors team doesn't seem to be shook by anything. After the last win they had in Oracle, they walked back to the locker room as if they didn't win. No smiling. It's like they were ready to go. Gasol and the boys were ready to go. Mr. Nick Nurse, who I heard Big Nick Energy, by the way, earlier today. Don't mind him being described as that. I like that. Thought they were going to potentially bury the Golden State Warriors. Boom, 4-1. What happens, though? Kevin Durant says, no, I'm cleared for practice. Excuse me. I go to dinner with Jay Will in New York, and I say, hey, Jay Will, I'm playing tomorrow night. So Jay Will goes on Get Up in the morning and says, I bet you Kevin Durant plays. And what does Kevin Durant do? Shows up at the warm-ups of the game, puts on a show.
Yep.
Duncan, one-on-one with folks.
Looked good.
Looked good. I mean, he looked good. He comes out, hits his first 2 shots. I'm thinking, no chance the Toronto Raptors can beat the Golden State Warriors, especially if Kevin Durant decided whenever he was hurt with that calf strain that he was never going to miss another shot again. That's what he said. I'm never going to miss another shot again. And then Heartbreak City comes in the form of what is now believed to be a popped Achilles out of nowhere for Kevin Durant. The Canadian fans made some noise. The internet did not enjoy that. Listen, Canada. You've done a lot of great things for the world. Great hockey.
The best.
Okay, America made it better with the league, but the sport itself was incredibly made by very nice people north of the border. Right. Maple syrup, we don't even have to talk about it. Had it this weekend with waffles and French toast. That's Belgium, France, and Canada coming together for a great treat on my plate.
Tim Hortons.
Timmy Hortons. I mean, let's not even talk about Niagara Falls, the place that pretty much raised me.
Gambling at 19.
That's what I'm talking about. 15, if you have a brother that's 4 years older than you.
Amen.
I like Canada. But that cheering when Kevin Durant got hurt, I think they all in that arena immediately regret upon hearing about Kevin Durant popping his Achilles right there. Their immediate reaction was, oh, the best player on earth. Now, granted, what have you done for me lately? We don't talk about LeBron James being the best player on earth anymore because he's might literally be 60 bottles of wine deep since the beginning of playoffs. So nobody will talk about that. But Kawhi came on. He's playing like Michael Jordan. There's a lot of videos of Kawhi and Michael Jordan sharing a lot of the same look. It's incredible because I didn't really know much about Kawhi either other than thing. But watching them kind of dominate. But Kevin Durant is that guy. He's that dude. Everybody knows it. A lot of people were talking. Klay Thompson even said after the game that they pay no mind and no attention to the humans that say they're a better team without Kevin Durant because you could put Kevin Durant on the worst team in the league and they would make the playoffs because he's the greatest player on earth. This is what Klay Thompson said, or one of the greatest players on earth. Watching his Achilles pop, which they have a zoomed in video on the internet of it, is so fucking sad to think about because all the shit that gets talked about Kevin Durant for being a snake and being a guy that only cares about Kevin Durant, a guy that hates seeing other people succeed is what they say, a guy who has taken some shots from the Golden State Warriors front office on multiple occasions. The GM came out in his press conference very emotional and positive for Kevin Durant because this is a heartbreaking situation for him. So he's a human. I respect it. But Kevin Durant has a lot of negative pub around him because his burner accounts and shit like that. And all I've ever seen is a guy that seems to care about things and is incredible at basketball. Tonight, whenever his Achilles popped, I think the whole world was like, man, you put yourself out there because the Warriors were about to lose. You came back early, obviously, in a chance to save your team because you wanted your team to win, and you literally got punished by that with the worst punishment possible, which is a torn Achilles, which is so sad, especially because he's potentially up for about 700, 800, 900, maybe even $1 billion from the Brooklyn Nets, amongst other people here in the next couple months. It's a sad scene, man. It's a sad scene for Kevin Durant.
It's the worst. An Achilles is probably the worst injury, right?
Well, it just comes out of nowhere. I mean, granted, something might happen, right? They said strained calf. And then now if they're saying Achilles, I don't know if those two are just necessarily tied together. I don't know enough about the body. I know they're, but hey, I do know that the Achilles bone is connected to the calf bone. You know what I mean? I do know they're in the same area. But what if he had a partial?
That's day one med school. They teach you that.
Yeah, exactly.
Is it possible he had a partial tear?
I don't know.
Achilles?
I don't know.
I thought once it goes, it goes.
Well, and maybe that's why there was rumors coming out that if he hurts himself again, it's gone forever.
Yeah.
Like there was a lot of those rumors, which means maybe it was something. I don't know the Achilles well enough, but maybe there was something that was because he was going so hard in warm-ups.
Exactly. It was interesting.
He was going so hard in warm-ups. It was very obvious that what he was trying to do in warm-ups was like, let's test this thing as much as we can right now just to see how it goes. By the way, got him into fucking game warm because as soon as he got that ball in his hand, the ball was
He was on fire.
dropping.
He was wanting to score 40.
Yes, he
For
wanted
sure.
40 that night for sure. But it's interesting to me that, man, it just goes and you still pay Kevin Durant, I assume.
100%.
Oh yeah.
Someone will.
You still pay Kevin Durant. You still just, even if he has to miss part of the season next year because he's rehabbing, which, by the way, is possible. Let's assume that's possible. Play a lot of games. You pay Kevin Durant. So that's good for Kevin Durant, I think.
Definitely. And also kind of like not terrible for the Warriors because now they're playing for something.
Yeah, and this is the first time you've really seen Klay Thompson come out and go to bat for Kevin Durant.
Absolutely.
Now, granted, it's probably happened before. This is me just paying attention more, so this is very much what have you done for me lately. But everybody from the Golden State team is coming out pro Kevin Durant.
Right.
Iguodala and Steph Curry walked him back to the thing during the game, which doesn't really back to the locker room. This is so sad for Kevin Durant because honestly, just like LeBron not making the playoffs, like I want to watch LeBron.
Yeah.
Right? Like I want to watch LeBron. Just like I want to watch Zion. The draft's coming up. Zion's going to go number 1. He said in an ad for NBA TV, he said, the world has never seen anything like me before. I'm like, okay, Zion. Are they writing your lines or did you say that? Like, I want to know. I want to know if they fed you that line or if you said that. Because if Zion's feeling that way, by the way, I will quadruple down on my Zion's the next LeBron if that's the way he's talking and he's not being fed those lines. I think Zion goes in and does something big. But Kevin Durant, I want to see Kevin Durant play basketball. Like I want to watch, just like I wanted to see Kawhi down the stretch there, which is exactly what we saw until they stopped giving him the ball. So,
Yeah. So, well, let's not give it to him on
He
the
was
final
getting like,
drive.
hey, we're down 1. Just any bucket here is good.
Yeah.
And he actually passed it though.
Yeah, he was getting double
Got
teamed.
doubled.
They still got a chance, I guess, to win it. But boy, it feels like Golden State's probably going to pull this one.
Yeah,
out.
go back to Oracle. Last game ever at Oracle.
And at Oracle, did they check the hoop sizes?
They should.
It feels like everybody gets buckets at Oracle. It feels as if Steph, now granted, this might be just watching Steph Curry shoot a basketball is different than watching everybody else. It feels like Steph could throw it from fucking anywhere at Oracle. It's probably going to fall.
Just drop.
I mean, in warm-ups, he's walking in the locker room and he does that shot from the side and then he fucking daps up the fucking security guard. It's just like clockwork.
Yep.
Just like clock. Oh, this is a 75-foot shot. Bang, buckets, dap up. I'm out of here. See you later. In the game, pull up from anywhere. I'm excited. I'm happy we got a series.
Yeah,
I'm happy
definitely.
we got a
More
series.
basketball. Can't complain.
Sad about Kevin Durant. though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the worst.
It's interesting too because all those reports are coming out about how the guys on the Warriors in the locker room were pissed that he wasn't playing, and then obviously, I mean Steph Curry, that's his move. Right as he goes down, starts crying, gets overcome with emotion, can't handle it. I'm onto him. I think he's full of shit.
Oh.
Yeah, I think Steph Curry is.
Are you kidding me right
I don't
now?
think he gives a fuck that.
Did you not
Durant
hear
went
my
down.
just kumbaya speech?
I did, and I think that's what a lot of Warriors fans will say too. But I mean, I
Drake was crying.
I just don't buy it.
Hey,
There's-
Drake was even crying about it. You think Drake cared more than Steph?
No, like I think the Clay stuff is genuine.
No.
I really
Answer
do.
the question I just said.
really do.
Do you think Drake cared more about KD getting hurt because he had his hands on his head?
He was
at
selling
one
harder than a
point?
pro wrestler.
Hey, he was selling hard.
He's selling hard, but I think deep down, I think he probably does care more than Steph Curry.
Maybe he
Steph Curry can't wait until KD's out of town.
Because he could bring his brother.
Yeah, exactly. KD's the big dog in the backyard who's just fucking bullying him, and get him out of here. I want my backyard back.
I that is an interesting take because Steph, NBA MVP, he was a champion. I think he was a Finals MVP. He had everything going. He had Under Armour deal just launched. He had Chef Curry. He had everything happening. He had a baby that everybody loved. He was on top of the world. And then Kevin Durant showed up, and I'll tell you. I'll tell you what. Steph Curry kind of fell down to the wayside there.
Yeah.
Still an electric figure.
Absolutely.
Still a must see.
Incredible at basketball.
Must see basketball player. But Kevin Durant he adds more drama. He's more hilarious, and he's good at basketball.
He's got more of the accolades too. Even though it's still a team sport, but
he's the guy.
Yeah.
Steph was probably on pace to get MVP if they win with up to this point.
Oh
So
yeah!
it's great. I mean,
Imagine
he was Kevin, up without
Kevin Durant comes in here and wins these next 3 games for them.
Yeah.
He wins MVP again.
bingo.
Yeah.
What are you bingoing over there?
Steph Curry is jacked up that KD is done.
You're a terrible person. They're all crying over there.
I just can't stand
The
Steph.
GM was crying up on the thing.
Well, he should be ashamed of himself because KD shouldn't have been playing tonight or last night.
You're bad guys. Anybody else? How about the doctor? He said numerous doctors, numerous specialists said he was good to go tonight. We would have never put him on the court if we didn't think so, says GM Bob Myers.
Yeah, I'm sure Bob Myers walked in the training room and was like, listen, you cocksuckers better tell me in 10 minutes that this guy's ready to go.
I hope that's not the case, man. No LeBron, no Durant,
Yeah, I feel bad
a
for
shame.
Durant. It's terrible.
but the Splash Brothers are still balling. Klay
What?
Thompson, by the way, still wet.
Very.
He shoots from weird scenes too, like the way he lines. He'll be standing like so uncomfortably, and he just pulls up a jumper from it. It's
He
like,
just can square up so well.
is that right?
Good square up guy.
Is that what he's good at, Fox?
He squares up so well.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Did you hear that fucking basketball analysis there?
It's grade A, top
I
notch.
thought you were gonna keep going.
Well, I thought you were too.
No, it's just like that's gonna just add to the chime in.
You don't
and
get
then
that
you're
shit
gonna
on
keep going.
fucking TNT. I'll tell you that.
No, I thought you were going to go.
What did Charles Barkley and like Shaq would have said right there when you said that?
Hey, man, you better shut the hell up.
Shout out to you guys, by the way, getting mentioned on Shaq's podcast. Heartland Radio got a moment on Shaq's podcast. It's called Borderline. I think it's about potential
Borderline things.
borderline things. Yeah, good for you guys. I didn't hear Shaq's voice one time, so Shaq's
very
name is
weird.
on the podcast. I didn't hear his name.
Shackcast?
Is that the Shaqcast? They just play snippets from other people's podcasts.
Not a bad play, by the way.
Oh, I like that. That's funny.
He's got the general on
work
his
smarter,
insurance.
work smarter, not harder. You know what I'm saying?
He's got the general insured. It don't matter what happens to him. Those green screen commercials are outrageous. Him and that fucking general. Shaq's living, dude. Icy hot.
The best.
The general.
The
Right?
absolute
That's the
best.
other
What
one.
did he play for 25 years, too? He's just
Yeah.
the best player of all time.
Anyone who thinks Shaq actually is insured by the general should be hit over the head with a shovel and buried immediately after.
Just what a beautiful mess those commercials are.
Oh,
They're
my
like, we're
God.
going to pay somebody $2 million to be in our commercial.
Yeah,
and
probably.
put $20 in the graphic presentation.
That Shaq on it, it'll be good. That's literally what they think. Those commercials, man. This conversation's really starting to heat up.
Yeah.
Speaking of heat up, do you feel the weather outside?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Starting to change, isn't it?
It's
getting balmy.
Outside is weather.
That is not the song. But you are correct. And the weather that is currently outside is warmer weather, which also means it's grilling season.
The best.
It is time to get out there in the yard, light up some things in the fire. Maybe it's charcoal, maybe it's gas line, whatever you want to get into. It don't matter. And you're going to get out there and you're going to grill an exceptional amount of meat for an incredible price right now from your friends at Omaha Steaks. Omaha Steaks is a family tradition farm for over a century of creating incredible meats for humans across America. Because the good people in Omaha, they care about you.
They do.
Right now, Omaha Steaks is giving a limited time Father's Day gift offer to listeners of this show and this show alone. I've seen the commercial for this particular special, but it's not as good as the one is on this show. Other shows have this type of offer. It's nowhere near as good as our offer.
Fact.
Let me tell you why. And I think it's because they think nobody's going to use it. So I think they give us this just thinking that none of our listeners are going to use this. Let me tell you something, Omaha. You're fucking wrong.
Yeah, you're about to lose a lot of money.
Fatal error.
Whenever you give 74% off for a Father's Day steak fix gift package, a $235 value that they're giving away for $59.99, when you enter code America in the search bar, you get 74% off. This is what the Father's Day steak fix gift package includes. $59.99, by the way. You got a piece of paper, you got a pencil or a pen, get ready and load up on ink.
Go ahead.
2 tender filet mignons, 2 bold top sirloins, 2 savory pork chops, 4 Omaha steak burgers, 4 massive gourmet jumbo franks. Go ahead and hit the top of the eraser on a mechanical pencil to get more lead. We're halfway home. 4 crispy chicken fried steaks, all beef meatballs, 4 premium chicken breasts, 4 caramel apple tartlets for dessert, a packet of Omaha steak signature seasoning, and you'll get 4 extra Omaha Steaks burger for free.
Wow.
My God.
All of that for $59.99. When I say buy a lot of these, buy a lot of these. You're not going to find another company giving away their business like Omaha Steaks is right now.
No way.
74% off. They can't be making a single dollar off of this. We must take advantage. 2 fillets, 2 sirloins, 2 pork chops, 4 steak burgers. Make that 8 steak burgers, 4 gourmet jumbo franks, 4 crispy chicken fried steaks, all beef meatballs, 4 premium chicken breasts, 4 caramel apple tartlets,
Delicious.
and a packet of Omaha Steaks signature seasoning.
Just an incredible amount of meat.
That is so much.
That'll fill your freezer.
It will fill your freezer.
Clear out the popsicles. Get ready. Get a big cooler coming your way.
Come put that meat popsicle in there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Use code America in the search bar today at omahasteaks.com. That is omahasteaks.com. America in the search bar. They're giving away the fucking company, man.
Yeah. It's dangerous.
Take advantage.
It's not good business, but it's good for you.
It's good customership.
Yeah.
Ain't that right? Ain't that right? Hey, there's a lot going on in hockey right now.
There is.
Tonight, I think there's a game.
Wednesday night.
Tomorrow night, there's a big game. You guys got a big
Game
game.
7, Stanley Cup Finals. Here we go.
Lord Stanley.
I said it from the beginning. The Bruins are going to win in 7.
And it's game 7 in St. Louis?
In Boston. Oh. You always go with the home team. 12-4 in Stanley Cup Finals history. For the Cup, Game 7, the home team, 12-4.
Jeez.
But the last 2 have been the away teams.
Unless it's 100% of the time, I don't want to hear the stats. You know what I mean?
That's fair.
Since
Unless-
2005, the home team's 31-28. So it's not
Checks
really a
off.
discernible difference. It's not really a home ice advantage.
There's
there.
no way
You're
there's that
talking
many
Game
game
7s in general,
sevens.
though. I'm talking about
Yes.
Stanley Cup Final Game 7s. I'm
Excuse
talking
me.
about the last round.
There's a little bit of
Stanley's-
difference.
Lord Stanley's Cup
Excuse me.
is in the house.
Excuse me, you remember that guy with the gloves that was carrying that fucking thing around? There's a lot on the line.
Yeah, Phil Pritchard. This ain't first round talk.
So I didn't watch the last game though, but the Blues looked bad.
Hey, they looked bad. They looked nervous. They looked scared. And the Bruins, they just looked dominant. I mean, it was Tuukka was standing on his head there for a while, doing a couple little spinnies, right? Ain't that what your hockey
yeah.
goalies do? Stand on their head.
He
Say
was.
rocket science.
You
what
asked me
they
a
say.
question. You said, "Are the Blues going to choke?" I feel like they already did. I feel like they needed to win that game. That was the one.
I was told right to my face though by you. Mm-hmm. Blues haven't been good at home. Blues good on the road.
Great on the road,
Oh.
but Boston very good at home.
Boston seems very good at hockey, by the way. I mean, this is Lord Stanley Cup's finals, but that fucking Marchand, he's a good player.
I know you don't like stats, but I'm gonna give you a few more.
Can't wait.
Bruins facing elimination this season in the playoffs. 3-0, 14 goals for, 4 goals against.
Wow.
3 for 6 on the power play, 9 for 9 on the penalty kill.
Well, that's good.
That's just winning hockey right there.
Hey, get it out,
You know?
dump it. You know what I mean? Get it out of the zone. I thought they were going to pass it back to Tuukka for an empty netter.
The goalie was the shooter.
Yeah, I did because Tuukka was having such a big game. They pulled the goalie with like 4 minutes left or something like that. They pulled the goalie very early.
That's the new trend now.
They pulled it very early, and there was a time where Boston had it back there, and I thought they were just going to shuffle it over to Tuca and be like, you know what? Your little nightcap up. Go ahead and shoot that thing down the other fucking side.
Yeah, I mean, you're up a couple goals. No harm done. Give it a shot.
Why not?
That's what it's all about. You score a goal in Stanley Cup Finals,
So you got
goalie,
the,
you're a legend.
You got the Bruins.
Yeah, I said from the beginning, I think I would like for the Blues to win, but Bruins were heavy favorites.
St. Louis needs it, man. I mean, Anheuser-Busch, I guess, was sold, right?
Yep.
The Rams, see ya.
Yeah.
The fucking Blues. I mean, Nelly doesn't make any albums anymore.
Nope.
No, Cardinals been pretty good over the last 10, 15 years or so.
Yeah.
But
That's what I'm saying. And a lot of people have been paying attention to baseball.
yeah, exactly.
I'd say if your city, though, had an incredible baseball team, I bet I would go. It's a good time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Baseball
good-
games
I
are a
love
good
baseball.
fucking
Good
time.
environment.
Yeah, I feel
Good
like I missed
environment.
out on a good part of my childhood because the Pirates were so
So
damn
fucking
terrible.
bad. Hey, why
So
were they
bad.
so bad? You have such a nice park, good drink specials, good team colors.
Yeah.
Just put a fucking team together. Hey, what do you need? 9 guys out there? 9?
Times 10.
Yeah, 9. Yep.
Just give us fucking 4. You know what I mean? Just give us something positive. Anytime we went to the Pirates game, knew they were losing. If they won, it was a full-on celebration. So I guess it was good. But it would have been a fun thing to like.
It'd be nice to see him win a game once in a while.
It would have been nice.
I mean, why-
Playoffs, maybe it would have been great. So maybe St. Louis doesn't need the Blues to win because they got the Birds,
Yeah.
St. Louis
mean-
Birds, the Red Birds.
Yeah.
Didn't they get caught cheating like 2 years ago?
Excuse me. Don't be taking allegations like that.
I'm pretty sure the Cardinals were cheating 2 years ago.
I thought it was the
years ago?
Astros. I thought the Astros hacked.
Cardinals were kind of in on it. One of the the
Suck
old
it.
GMs still
Yeah.
still had a password and was
Did they get
accessing
hacked, though?
scouting information.
Or were they hacking?
What happened?
Like one of the old
People are hacking like in fucking
yeah.
social networks.
Yeah, like someone from the
I'm
Cardinals
locked
or the
in.
Astros never changed their password to one of their scouting things, and this guy was just popping in there and seeing who.
But what
they
does
were-
that do?
That's not hacking. That's just people
Yeah,
being
no, that's,
dumb.
Well, I mean, it
Makes a good
I
head.
may-
It's not
like
I
they
may
hired
have-
the Russians
I may
to
have
get in
dumbed
there.
it down a tad bit, but I mean, I think there was some straight up espionage going on.
Oh, yeah.
They'd look for guys that they were going after, and then fucking pluck them instead, and I mean that
There's rules to that.
That could-
like in their minor league systems.
yeah, not like
Which is where you win games.
exactly. That's
You
how you
win in
build a
October.
franchise.
You win in October in the minors.
Exactly right. That's exactly right.
I've been following baseball a long time.
Yeah, so I mean,
I was in the minors.
Yeah,
You were.
2015 Cardinals hacked into the Astros
yes,
database.
yep.
Says he was 100% right.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I was
thought you were
wrong
talking-
with the 2 years. I was wrong with the 2 years.
Yeah, of course. I thought you were talking about old McGuire.
Oh, I would never bring that up. Sammy was part of that.
I mentioned earlier today, we were talking about a hypothetical that could potentially pop up during our live show that's coming back very soon, by the way. A little bit of a news break, I guess. We're talking about the hypothetical of me just getting a stat completely wrong, which happens very much on a regular basis. And I said, yeah, I could come out and say Barry Bonds hit 97 home runs or something like that. And I, by the way, if I'm in the middle of a rant, I'm not expecting anybody to stop me. I'm just going to roll. And then Ty was like, yeah, I mean, you're only off by a little bit. It was 75, right?
73, yeah.
Yeah, 73. And then you said that's an asinine fucking number of home runs.
Yeah.
73 is
It's
just
unbelievable.
sick.
The guys who are just smashing it now, if they're lucky, hit 45, 46.
that's unbelievable to me.
And no one was fucking pitching to him either. He was getting he got walked more than Babe Ruth that season.
So if you accidentally chose, it was like whenever Revis was Revis Island.
yeah, exactly.
If you accidentally chose to throw it to his side, it was probably getting picked off.
Yeah.
And if you accidentally put one over the plate with Barry Bonds, it was gone those years.
pretty much.
And they were all just on a bunch of shit.
Yeah, I mean his head was the size of a boulder. And
Did
when
it
he
come back down, or is it still the same
I think
size?
it's still pretty big. When he came into the league, he played for the Pirates. His head is as skinny as a popsicle
He was
stick.
built
and
like
then,
Foxy.
Yeah,
when
he
came
was.
to the league.
Yeah.
And then he
And
became
then
a powerhouse.
looked like you, but another 85 pounds of muscle in his head.
Good for Barry.
Good
He had that
offseason.
bionic arm sleeve
Yep.
thing too. If I was a pitcher and didn't know anything about him and he stepped up to the plate, I'd be walking him too, just from the look of that arm.
He
had.
was like a good 30-30 guy. You know what I mean? And that was good. It wasn't enough for him. He was like, no, I have to be able to fucking crush coconuts in my bare hands. Fucking 480-yard bombs.
Those were good. Hey,
Bombs.
baseball was headline news
Yeah,
every
everyone
night.
watched it. Yeah.
There's always that conversation. There's always that conversation. Like, should the MLB just stop caring about performance-enhancing drugs?
Nope.
Because the only time in modern history when baseball was watchable and excitable and topic of conversationable, it was when they were all just fucking gone out of their minds on a bunch of shit.
They pushed it and encouraged it when Sosa and McGuire were going.
Yeah, it was a lockout before
you used to watch post-game like interviews, and McGuire would just have like 4 pill bottles of Andro in his locker. Again, they just didn't give a fuck. Didn't do anything. He was plain as day, like right there. It was wild.
Well, I think we're going to get into baseball. Just because there ain't shit about to be on TV. I watched. I'm gonna start getting into more Netflix documentaries and stuff like that. I think I have to.
Nice.
Because I mean, if baseball, baseball has the opportunity here. Okay, now that we're in this world, and I've never really had to care about an off season happening, but now that we are legitimately in this world, and this is our third year going into this thing, baseball has the opportunity to maybe make their shit interesting. You know what I mean? Like, hey, all these other sports are down. You know what everybody's talking about? Everybody's talking about all the good sports are over. Now we got to deal with baseball. People actually say it. People say it, like the only thing on sports right now is baseball, and it's like a bad thing. It's a bad thing. I think baseball should own this thing and maybe make it a little bit more interesting. Maybe there's some steroid months, and these are the ones. You know what I mean?
Oh, tail end of the season, just everybody starts juicing up.
Team.
Let's go. Let's ramp up.
We got some new smoothies in the fucking dugout.
The best part about last year was the juiced up balls in the home run derby.
Yeah, which Tucker Barnhart talked about on the show. He said,
Yeah.
oh, the balls are definitely juiced. They're flying all over the place.
Yeah.
Baseball should try to make some sort of, run at this thing. I feel like minor league parks, incredible marketers. Incredible. You got hot tubs in the fucking outfield.
Yeah.
You got parties in everywhere.
So affordable.
You got me starting in right field. Right? There's antics. In the MLB, you don't really hear about that much. You don't really hear about like
bullshit. Like
It is
that,
more
ever.
fun to watch, though, in the aspect over the from just a few years ago is they're high scoring games now.
Yeah.
I mean, they're scoring a shit ton of runs.
gambling too, right? Everybody bets on this because it's easy to bet on because you got a pitcher that you know about, so that probably helps. So with the prevalence of sports gambling, probably going to help baseball
For sure.
Yeah, great point.
probably, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the game.
They should start letting you bet like fucking Kentucky Derby. Soon as guy is about to walk up to bat, I think Tucker Barnhart going to hit a home run. Oh, that's 50-1, sir. Deal. Give it to me. It would be hard not to just have that check in like every
would
single.
be.
If they had an app at every single seat.
Oh, yeah.
For every single fucking hitter, you could bet.
By the time you get like 8 beers in, you're betting on everything that comes across the screen.
Well, home run dinger, fun coupon, all of them. Who's this guy? He's betting a what? A one what? Yeah, he's bound. How many? He's due. He's due. He's due. That'd be a great time. If I could do it at home too while the game's happening. Now we're talking.
Bet on balls and strikes. I'd sit there like a slot machine.
Every
Ding.
oh my
imagine?
god. Hey, zoom in on that pitcher's face. I want to see if this motherfucker's in the zone.
There's 2 outs, nobody on, and intentional walk is 1,000-1. Yep.
Yeah.
Boom.
All right. Let me try to get a read on that catcher. Oh, that's a curveball. That's probably gonna be a ball.
He called the 2. I saw the 2.
And then they close the bets like as he goes into his stretch. That'd be awesome. I can't believe we just fixed baseball.
Good for us.
Nice.
People have been trying to do it a long time.
Until those games get shorter, they're not going to get any.
7 innings.
No,
Baseball-
you can't. That's the problem. Because like I'm a baseball purist. Like you can't really change the rules that much because then it
Well, then
changes.
fuck it. Why can't I just bet on an app at home
You should be able to do that, but
for every single batter?
yeah, that'd be awesome. Well, and you can you can definitely bet on like individual guys to.
But I'm talking about live.
Yeah, I mean, I would hope they're going to do that soon.
Bro,
but
that'd be fucking awesome.
be
I would,
incredible.
hey, lock me in. I would fucking watch baseball if I could just bet on every single pitch. That'd be incredible.
see, and I wonder if they won't because I don't think they really have an attendance problem outside of like a couple teams, like in
Yeah,
the
right.
stadiums and stuff like that. Like
You think they just have enough games that ends up paying off? Like,
Enough?
you know, a lot of games.
Quite
but
a few.
I'm saying you probably need to sell out like at least a few of those games to make up. I see games on TV all the time when I'm flipping through. There ain't nobody at those games.
Yeah.
There ain't nobody at is it all the hats? Like, how are they making all their money?
I don't know, but the game lasts about 12 hours, so they sell a lot of concessions.
Yeah, I would guess
I mean,
concession
you eat
sales.
like 3 meals while you're there.
We interrupt this fine conversation to let you know that I've completely changed my mind on how I go about manscaping my body.
Why is that?
Well, I think in the olden days, before I started using Manscaped, I was always fearful that a potential nick could lead to my death around the jewels.
They tend to do that.
You know what I mean? You're always dancing with disaster whenever you're utilizing old razors and shavers. Oh,
yeah.
You're talking about your biscuits and gravy.
The most dangerous game.
Bleeds forever down there.
What's that?
Bleeds forever down there.
Does, doesn't it?
You have to throw a whole roll of toilet paper, like one little tear-off piece at a time. It lasts for like 3 days.
Happens a lot, huh, Todd?
Not anymore.
Nope.
Because now there is a snag-proof, waterproof, and shock-resistant option available right now in the name of the Lawnmower 2.0 from your friends at Manscaped. It comes in the Perfect Package 2.0 kit. It has the Lawnmower 2.0 with skin-safe technology. This trimmer won't nick or snag your nuts. Ooh. By the way, I almost got a little aggressive with this thing. I almost shaved both of my legs with this thing. It is a plow. Speaking of, they have a plow, which is a razor for you that is fine and sharp and clean. But the Lawnmower 2.0, it just goes about its business. Just no fear at all. I'm telling you, it looks like a piece of art down there right now.
Ooh.
Nice.
You know why? Because I'm Picassoing down there with a free hand. Not scared of anything.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because the Lawnmower 2.0 protects you with its skin-safe technology. I wouldn't say this about other products that I've used around the kit and caboodle.
No, I've never heard you say it at all before this.
No.
Never.
Nick, you've known me a long time. I've never talked about anything that's been around the kit and caboodle.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about snag proof here. I don't want the
Snag-proof.
word snag associated with anything around my crotchal region.
Yeah.
You're right.
Snag proof, baby.
You should snag up the Lawnmower 2.0, though. Something you should think about grabbing.
Snatch it up.
I'm glad my tamale's going to be safe.
Is that what you call it?
Your pork and beans. Mm-hmm. Well, right now, your Crunchwrap Supreme,
Your little Zito burrito.
20% off with free shipping and a free travel bag with the code PAT at manscaped.com. Travel bag for free.
What?
That you want. I traveled with it this last time. It's a good leather. It actually it feels like you're protecting the stuff inside of it, like the Lawnmower 2.0. I put my vibrating toothbrush in there. Everything was good. The travel bag's beautiful and it's free.
See, they didn't need to do that.
Didn't
That's
have to.
incredibly nice.
No.
Snag-proof pube cutters with free shipping, a free travel bag, and 20% off right now when you use code PAT at manscaped.com. Back to the convo. I would like it to be known, not to change the subject too quick, but this is a pretty big news. Okay? Not a lot of people would expect this from this podcast, but I would like this podcast to be remembered as a podcast that supports the Women's World Cup because we talked about it during the podcast.
Right.
The Women's World Cup is happening right now, and I don't think anybody has a clue that it's happening. I accidentally watched the game the other day. I was just flipping through, and my fucking everybody's seen the way my TV work. DirecTV's out again, by the way, at the house. It just freezes. Couldn't work the guide. It just clicked on one that was wide open. Turned on Fox 59. All of a sudden, I'm watching fucking Spain and somebody else in the Women's World Cup, and I was like, holy shit, the Women's World Cup is happening right now.
Actually happening.
Right?
yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
I know, because I swear
Live.
I was going to
exactly.
ask.
Hey, you.
I was
I
gonna
don't want you to
ask.
even be a part of this podcast because this is a podcast that supports the Women's
I was going to
World
ask, do
Cup.
we have like Olympics or like World Cup to look forward to?
Yeah, USA plays today versus Thailand.
Tuesday?
No, as in like tomorrow.
Tuesday.
Tuesday, yes. I get so jet lagged on this podcast.
But yeah, Foxy, I almost want to kick you off the show because this is a podcast that supports the Women's World Cup.
You're right. I saw
agree.
an incredible nutmeg highlight tweet today, and I was like, wow, look at that. Look at that. That's an incredible play.
Yeah, we've had some great play out there so far. I haven't missed a game, but
That's what you've been saying
Yeah.
this whole time.
Yeah, I've been
because
trying
you
to
and
tell-
I were texting all weekend.
Yep.
You were back at your brother's bachelor party, but you were sneaking off to go watch the Women's World Cup.
yeah, exactly. I told him, I was like, hey, guys, my stomach's not feeling great. I just fucking head next door, grab a beer and sit down for, an hour and a half and just
90
watch
minutes.
Yeah, watch some incredible soccer.
And what has happened?
And I wasn't disappointed. Okay, I mean, France is looking good right now.
So good.
France has got some horses out there.
We.
Yeah, exactly. Reynard, she looks great. 2 goals in the first game against South Korea. They beat the piss out of them, starched them.
We all kind of expected that too, especially with the way Mbappe was playing for the dudes a couple years back.
Exactly.
gotta
Host
keep pace.
country. It is in France. So
We knew that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We knew that.
Little extra juice
Didn't
there,
we?
obviously being at home.
We knew it was in France.
yeah.
We've been talking about it this whole time.
Like you mentioned, Spain, another pick to click going deep in this tournament. Okay. They've just, I don't know. I mean, they play the game the right way.
That's what everybody said.
Gatlana had a nice little hat trick last game. All right.
Oh,
yeah.
did she?
Yeah. So
See.
so
Spain.
she exactly.
That was a country.
They wiped out
embarrassing.
South Africa.
By the way, you will get kicked off of this too. We are a podcast that supports the Women's World Cup.
I saw Martha from Brazil. Looked, someone photoshopped a joint in her hand on the bench.
Nice.
She's pretty good.
Probably because she wasn't getting enough shine. Because Christiane actually also netted a hat trick for the Brazil.
I have a
women's
question
team.
about this real quick. Why do Brazilians have one name?
Like Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah, like her name is just one name.
Christiane. Yeah, it's the beautiful game, dude. It's what they do in Brazil.
They just have one name.
I don't know. I honestly
Ronaldo.
because there's a couple Ronaldos.
Ronaldinho.
Well, it's like-
Neymar. I mean, they all have last names
Well,
or
they don't
first
list
names.
it there.
What do you think? You think it's Carl Neymar?
You know what? I don't know if that's been confirmed. It could be.
Carl.
Yeah, they go by their surnames. I think.
Yeah. No, you're right.
Surnames.
Yep.
Like Messi's one name, right?
No.
Lionel.
But
That's
everyone
that's-
knows
that's why-
exactly.
hey, that's why I
All these
shouldn't be on
common
this
folk know him
podcast.
as Messi.
This is very tough.
Well, I'm not a soccer guy.
Hey, Megan
But it's not
Klingenberg.
about soccer. It's about America taking on the world's greatest on the greatest stage, which is the Women's World Cup.
Shout out Pittsburgh's
You're right.
own Megan Klingenberg.
Yeah, she's
Wow.
doing
Go
her.
Kling.
She's doing her
Wait, so
Periscope show.
America's in it.
Oh, Klingenberg?
Yes, America's in it.
Did they win?
Big game today against Thailand, bro.
We also got Chile and Sweden in our bracket. So I mean,
Swedes.
look for us to move on very
Spicy.
easily out of. I think.
Don't sleep on the
Are we
Swedes.
in? I think we're in Group D. I think maybe G. I don't know.
D's on that bitch.
But yeah, I mean, if you're looking for a couple horses to bet on moving forward, the United States, Spain, France, and Brazil all look very strong this year.
And we wouldn't have known that going into the World Cup that those would have been the four teams
No,
to bet
no,
on.
no idea.
Nobody would have thought that.
That's what's great about the Women's World Cup.
Exactly.
is You just don't know till it happens.
I mean, people were pumping China's tires big time before the start of the event, but
They're agile.
The conditioning levels have to be incredible fighting through
yeah.
all that pollution and smog.
that's exactly right.
Lungs of steel.
It's like training in
What's your
Colorado.
problem, bro? Just because there's a bunch of Laramie Tunzels over there, they're hitting the gas
what I'm
mask
saying.
every day. That's probably an advantage, by the way.
Of course it is.
It's exciting stuff, Ty. Thanks for that.
Yeah, you bet.
Really appreciate what you did there for us.
Well, I mean, it's not like I'm doing. I mean, I've been watching it anyway, so I'm not a chore,
I feel like it's that bad marketing, man. Ain't nobody know that they're
No.
playing. I just found out they're playing Thailand from Zito.
Yeah.
Zito taught me that.
Well,
What's going on? Because the women, by the way, they used to be America's fucking
Oh, yeah.
team. The United States women's soccer
I can feel your passion right now. The
They
tears are
really
coming
were,
out.
though.
Yeah.
Oh, the tears?
The tears coming out with the passion.
Yeah, that's what they're from. We didn't have to edit out a whole part. But honestly, the women's soccer team used to be
that Brandy
Mia Hamm.
Chastain thing,
Yeah.
it's like one of the most
Oh.
iconic sports
Yes.
pictures of all time.
Yeah, Mia Hamm.
Fucking, what's her name?
Those other, the
Megan Rapinoe.
yeah, Rapinoe.
Abby Wambach.
That's the one I'm
There you
looking
go.
for. Wampa.
She was awesome. She headed everything.
Yep.
She's a
Hope
monster.
Solo.
See, Hope Solo really good at soccer there for a little bit.
She goalie.
Some issues.
Yep. I think she beat up her husband the night before they got married.
Yeah, several
Like, got
times.
arrested for
Several
it.
times.
I mean, who doesn't want to do that, you know?
Well, I don't think that's the right question to be asking. But I honestly think she beat up her husband, got arrested, and then
Yeah.
got married the next day.
Yep, I'm pretty sure you're
Or
right.
maybe it was her brother. She beat up somebody who was in jail, and they got married the next day.
I think she's whooped her brother's ass. I think she's whooped her husband's
I was,
ass.
I
I
think
think
there's
she
something
likes
about her
throwing
nephew.
hands.
Yeah, it was her nephew. She got arrested. It was something along those, because it was domestic violence, but it was somebody in her family. It wasn't like, it was like a very interesting domestic.
Maybe
violence.
their whole fight, like it's a fight club in their family, and they can't talk about it. But
So they
it
just have to go to
happens.
jail.
Yeah.
They just have to go to jail. If an outsider sees it, they got to go to jail. You had an incredible take on the Golden State Warriors that we were supposed to get to at the beginning, but you just,
Yeah,
per usual. By the way, a lot of people listening at home are like, they probably wish Zito would talk more. That's what everybody probably
They
wishes.
say, yeah.
I don't know if anybody wishes that, but there's probably a couple thoughts like, hey, Zito sometimes disappears. And I want to let you guys know, we think that too. I very much think that. I get worried about the guy whenever
I'm kind of disappearing right now.
Yeah, well, you had this incredible take about the Golden State
And
Warriors.
it's coming true. Besides Kevin Durant breaking his leg.
But nobody knows. Like, the people listening right now don't know your take. Like, it's like
Should I say it right now?
well, you should have said it whenever we were talking about
think
them.
it's a great
I'm going to be
time.
honest. We could not find an open spot there. You guys are doing a great job. All right, so I have a conspiracy, guys. You guys ready for this?
Hold on, are you a conspiracy guy?
Big conspiracy guy. I'm putting my conspiracy hat on right now as we speak.
Okay.
All right.
So I believe that Golden State is so mad at each other that they lost a 3-1 lead at one point in their lives that they basically lost all these games to come back in a 3-1 lead.
So
they're
what
not
you said
remembered to be that
earlier
team.
actually made more sense, and I'll say it. What you said earlier was that anytime somebody loses after being up so much,
Yes.
like up 3-1, they always say, "Oh, you Golden Stated."
Yep,
You
exactly.
Golden Stated is what you said.
Yep.
So your conspiracy, if I am understanding from what you originally said
Yep.
to what you just said, is that Golden State purposely went down 3-1 to Toronto so that they can come back and win, so that people say you got Toronto Raptored as opposed to you got Golden
Exactly.
State.
Yeah, I'm really bad at repeating what I said earlier. That's like my number one problem. But yeah, that's exactly what I meant to say.
That's your number one problem.
It's a good conspiracy theory.
Zito, I think you have a great take here. I think this
I like
is
it.
potentially a
Yeah.
good take.
Yeah.
Didn't they already come back from a 3-1 deficit?
No, they
In
the
a Western
finals.
Conference Finals, they did.
Yeah, not in the actual finals.
Right.
Remember,
Okay. Yeah,
Bron
no.
Bron cemented his legacy after coming back down.
Yeah, I mean, no, I came at Todd earlier for the same thing, you know. Get it right.
Well,
Wear
go
it
fuck
tight.
yourself.
What happened? What happened?
The
I
earlier
was giving
rounds.
Game 7 hockey stats because I thought it was still relevant.
Oh, yeah.
and
yeah,
you
yeah.
wanted to just go
You know,
Stanley
Western
Cup,
Conference Finals, early
7
rounds. I get
Game
it. That's
7s.
on me.
To be honest, though, if that does happen, Z, I think Drake wears it harder than the actual Raptors organization. Like I think
Oh,
it
so
lives.
he's like
I think it
Spike
lives
Lee?
with Drake more
Hey.
than them.
Drizzy's in an interesting spot.
Very interesting spot. He thought he was going to be partying
He thought he was champion tonight.
100%.
Did he drop his song or his album?
He said he has a couple songs ready. Well, he indirectly said that on Instagram.
Wale's got a new song out.
Oh, you guys were tweeting each other earlier.
Wale and I were tweeting. Actually, here's a fun little tip. Whenever you see somebody's trying to promote something and they're just retweeting everybody, if you just tweet them, they're probably going to retweet it. I
Don't call him whale either.
I was about to say why they keep saying whale. Whale retweeted me today because I said that I heard that there's a bunch of Wale new music out. Everybody was tweeting about it. And then I was looking at all my places where I get music from, and I didn't see any Wale. He only had it on YouTube, which, by the way, good idea. Run up those YouTube numbers. They pay.
They pay.
Yeah.
True.
YouTube's where the cash is at, they say.
Yeah, that's what they say.
Spotify probably
Spotify
pay
pays too, don't they?
Yeah, I'd assume.
So
That little Nas kid is just living off of that for the rest of his life. He's going to blow up and be a star, for sure. But Wale's got new music out. I didn't love it.
Yeah.
I'm not his
Slow.
demographic, though. He's trying to fuck somebody. And I don't think not there's anything wrong with it. I just don't think he's trying to fuck me, you know?
Yeah, it wasn't a summer banger. It was more of a tender, romantic song.
It is very tender, speaking to the women. It's like people listen to R&B, I get it. It makes you feel good and stuff like that. But the people singing are definitely just attempting to fuck somebody. So, I mean, it's an interesting... I understand. I can get down with some of it, but most of it's just I don't fully understand.
Well, what Wale should have did, because you couldn't find his song, right?
He's put a link to where it was.
Well, he should have did that, but he also should have said he's just going to fight Tom Cruise, and then everyone would have found his music.
Hey, good transition there.
Because Bieber's dropping new music.
That's a pro.
Hey, Bieber, I checked out his Instagram. I'm worried about the kid.
Yeah.
I haven't looked
You
at
don't
it.
want nothing to do with no Tom Cruise.
You crossed the wrong man, my friend.
Hey, Ethan Hunt, Jack, what's his name?
Jack Reacher.
Shit.
Motherfucker broke his ankle during filming just a year ago and continued running across the top of a building.
Lieutenant
and now
Pete Mitchell.
Now a little Justin Bieber, banger maker, by the way.
Love it.
Banger maker, Justin Bieber. Even though I got a lot of people tweeting me that he doesn't write the music, doesn't write the songs, all he does is show up and sing them. I don't
What do
care.
you mean?
That's fine.
Somebody's got to sing them.
I don't care. That's not what you did there.
Thank you.
Bro, Despacito, bro.
He better enjoy it while it lasts because Tom Cruise is gonna fucking kill it.
Dude.
Tom Cruise does not play any games.
Tom Cruise is working out right now.
Yeah, just for his next movie role, let alone
Has-
going into fucking human cockfighting with
Has
Justin
Bieber
Bieber.
ever watched anything of Tom? Like, did you see how crazy he was when he was on Oprah? Like, have you seen any of like the Scientology stuff?
Let's
like,
not even talk about his craziness on Oprah. Let's talk about his agility on Oprah.
Yeah.
He jumped up on that fucking couch, 0.1 second, I think.
Good pop time.
You need that pop time
Yep.
because that's what he's doing when he's running and jumping after helicopters that are taking off.
He's a little spider monkey. He'll
He
rip your
is.
eyes
He
out,
is a
Bieber.
spider monkey.
He's a gymnast. Like he should be in another life. He would have been like an Olympic gymnast. He's built just like one. Have you seen like the was it the Labyrinth?
Oh.
I mean that dude can. He is like an Olympic level gymnast.
By the way, good skill to have whenever you're in an octagon is the ability to be a
Yes.
gymnast.
Yeah.
Once you start flipping around there, what's Bieber going to do? Nothing. Hop on his little skateboard. He's got some
Climbs
baggy ass
mountains.
clothes on Instagram too this last couple of days. I don't know what he's doing.
He also has an incredibly powerful, vengeful, malicious cult behind him.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You think he went and met with the crew, the Scientology crew? It's like,
yeah,
what
I
are we
bet
doing?
David Miscavige was like,
What are we doing here?
fucking kill him.
You gave him like the fucking thumb thing. You think they were like, Cruz, first of all, come down to this basement. I want you to tell us some terrible secrets about you that we can hold over your head forever.
Actually, so I think he's one of the. He does whatever he wants.
Okay.
I think he's up there in terms of like they gave him some like presidential medal.
platinum member card.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They gave him some like huge medal. Like
Yeah, I think it's him like collecting
he might
secrets.
be calling shots.
Oh, so he sent out a bird call. Scientologist. And everybody comes in, and he goes, everybody give me $2. I'm going to go fight Justin Bieber for the church.
Yeah,
And then Bieber's going to bring his little priest guy, his little handsome priest guy.
Yep.
Tom Cruise is going to bring his entire church of humans there. And it's all just going to be a sellout arena there. And it's going to be Scientologists versus super Christians, uber hip Christians. And I think, to be honest, the Scientologists fucking bury the Christians that night. I think across the board.
maybe
I think-
we do it in one of Joel Osteen's churches too. Get fucking 75,000 rabid fans in there.
I just don't know what Bieber's doing. I don't know what he's doing. Hey, Biebs, you somehow got through the era of your life where everybody should have hated you. Mm-hmm. But instead, what happened? A complete opposite. Almost made more fans. It was like, you know what? You've been famous since you're like 9 years old, dude. We understand you got some tough problems. You were handed $1 billion. Not really handed. You earned it. I mean, you were playing guitar on the streets in Canada, which, by the way, they cheer when people get hurt. So it's not an easy place to make it. People think it's an easy place to make it. It's not. He got a big deal, got famous, could have done literally whatever he wanted, whenever he wanted. I assume a era of doucheness comes with that. Whenever you're handed a key to
I
the
would think
entire
so.
world,
For sure.
Yeah.
which is what Bieber got. He got through it on the other side of it here, got a lot of fans. And now he's like, why are you challenging a fucking 60-year-old, bro? The only thing can happen here is you get your ass kicked by a senior citizen. And then everything goes to shit for you forever. You can't say a single word to anybody for Justin Bieber. Just make your bangers, keep it fucking moving. Am I right?
It's just
absolutely.
an interesting guy to go after. Like,
Unless it's all planned.
I mean, it could be, but again, like Nick said, I think Tom Cruise is one of like the most vengeful. Like, he's not a guy you want to cross. Take away all like the Scientology stuff. He's probably one of like the 10 most powerful people in Hollywood.
Tom Cruise?
I would guess that. Yeah.
Yeah.
What is it? So let's start looking at numbers a little bit. Because Justin Bieber's got a good jumper. He can play hockey well. He skateboards. And he's carrying around like a good 70 pounds of extra clothes. These pictures, these pictures of this kid, I have never seen it. I did not expect it. I was like, what happened to the Bieber? Are you looking at the photos of him right now?
I'm looking at Tom Cruise's net worth.
What is it?
$480 million.
Just for being a badass. Yeah. Conor McGregor got on board. He's on Bieber's side.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which is weird because Bieber was on Mayweather's side.
Yeah.
And now Conor McGregor's on Bieber's side, which is ipso facto, he's on Team Mayweather, the money team.
He also, in one of his tweets, called out that he wanted to fight Mark Wahlberg.
Marky Mark?
Yeah, he said Mark Wahlberg and then Bieber and Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
What if it's like Celebrity Deathmatch, but with real celebrities these days? That'd be
There's something
awesome.
going
I'm in.
on.
Because I think Bieber's worth
Yeah,
probably near that,
Yeah, probably.
by the way. I think he was part of the Carly Rae Jepsen run there.
Yeah, I think so.
I think we should let Mark Wahlberg fight Bieber because Mark Wahlberg will take out his fucking eye.
Hold on. Mark Wahlberg's going to fight McGregor.
I know, but I think we should let him fight Bieber instead.
You're worried about Tom Cruise?
No, I just would like Tom Cruise would get him beat him up and then all right, that's enough. Mark Wahlberg will fucking dig out his eyeball out of his head.
Marky
No.
Mark.
Yeah, I think
Fucking
I
throw
want
it against the
Wahlberg,
wall.
I think it's the opposite.
McGregor in some dump in Southie, in some just shithole bar. I want him to go out.
Mark Wahlberg literally removed the guy's eye from his head and went to prison for it before he ever got into acting. So
What happened?
I didn't know that.
yeah, he beat up two Vietnamese guys in a bar with a fucking stick and took one of their eyes out.
No way.
And went to prison.
Mark Wahlberg?
Yeah, so his brother Donnie was already big, right? Because he was in
New Kids on the Block.
on the Block. So he was rich already. So he hired the character that Drama is based on in Entourage to just keep Mark out of jail. He lived in Mark's apartment and just said, "Just here, I'm going to pay you a salary. Just keep my brother from going to prison and killing somebody and going to prison." And so,
And then he found the Funky Bunch and just fucking took over?
Yeah.
So Marky Mark and Drama are walking around. Marky Mark's thinking about holding up gas stations, and Drama's like, can't do it, not today. So he's doing all this stuff. And Marky Mark just happens upon the Funky Bunch, and all of a sudden they start feeling these good vibrations, hit his studio. Marky Mark's bigger than Donnie ever will be. See you later. All because Donnie hired a guy to stop Marky from robbing gas station E.
Yeah, he's like, dude, I can't go to the bar and fight every night. I'm just going to start rapping with my shirt off. And
Clean.
It worked out. Yeah.
Clean rapping, by the way.
Hey, Dom Toretto spent a few years hard time upstate for beating a guy with a torque wrench, and look at him now.
Yeah.
Dom Toretto?
Good point.
Lives a quarter mile at a time.
I don't know
happens.
who that is.
Fast
Too
and Furious.
fast, too furious. Too fast for y'all.
Tra. It's too fast. Tra. Too furious. Vin Diesel,
Yeah, oh yeah.
him and John Cena teaming up to take on fucking Hobbs and Shaw.
What a great move, by the way. What a great pickup that is.
Yeah.
You lose the Rock, you just bring in Cena.
How'd you
Yeah.
like that preview you saw today?
Okay, so we saw the Hobbs and Shaw preview today. I think it debuted during the NBA final. Although I've talked about this before on the show, I feel like I was a part of the Hobbs and Shaw filming through The Rock's Instagram. There is a massive jail scene that's going to happen in this movie. The Rock said it took him a couple of days to film because he almost passed out because it was so intense.
Oh.
Yeah, I was there for it. I was on Instagram with The Rock while he was selfie videoing me all the way through it. Then there's a moment with Roman Reigns at the end there where they're fighting for their Hana and Mahalo right there on the native lands. That's what they said.
I know.
Ty, why are you?
I know. I'm sure The Rock was probably very like, hey, make sure that gets in the script, all right?
I saw a big Haka dance sequence, it looked like.
So they have to fight at the end because they don't have any weapons, so they got to go old school. So they just got fucking literally sticks and swords and stuff, and they just go to war. With it looks like a bunch of little tiny white people. If I saw the IG correct. Anyways, that was months ago. So I thought the movie was done. Turns out the movie's not even out yet.
Nope.
I thought it was already. I thought it was already did its whole loop-de-loop. The Rock just gives you such an inside look at the movie so long ago. It feels like I already know what's going to happen. I think I do know what's going to happen. By the way, just like I called the Avengers ending, I think I know how this one ends too. Haven't seen a single run of this whole thing in history, but I watched it. There was 7 slow motion pictures in the preview for Hobbs and Shaw. 7 slow mo shots, almost a Ken Burns effect on some of them, moving so slow while The Rock is diving through the air. He's a 285-pound baboon of a man, just the most shredded human being on Earth, possibly, and he took an Apache helicopter out of the sky.
Yeah.
He grabbed
Yes,
the
he did.
thing and took an Apache helicopter out of the sky.
Grab the winch. I think they actually filmed that too. I don't think that's CGI.
Like Tom
practical.
Cruise?
yeah, I think that was like a practical
effects, that's
effect.
the way to
Yeah.
go,
Yeah.
I don't know how you can't watch the movie after watching that trailer. I honestly don't know how you
agree.
can't watch the movie.
That's what I said. That was one of the better TV spots. That Jay-Z playing. You know, I mean, they
Please
know.
allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is, and then it said Hobbs on the screen. I don't know if you guys saw that.
Oh yeah.
Please allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Hobbs. And then The Rock jumping out of a building onto the back of a fucking airplane. And then he throws a fucking like an anchor up on an Apache and pulls it down from the sky. And I'm watching it thinking like, I think he could possibly do that.
Oh yeah.
I think The Rock could possibly do that.
You're also totally discounting Jason Statham doing some awesome spins and looking sexy at the camera with his sultry voice.
Dude, that guy's so fucking cool.
He's what's he from?
He's from all the
Cranked.
in Snatch.
Crank, the transporter.
Hey, that
Bunch of
Cranked.
The Expendables.
Yep.
I accidentally watched that Cranked movie late night one night. That was a bad move. I was just up. It was like the night before a game too. I think it was a primetime game, so you try to stay up so you can sleep all day. And I turned on, I think, that Cranked movie at like 2 a.m. and I was just fucking up till like 4 a.m. just like jacked up. Like this guy's. I was gonna try to fall asleep to it. No way. That thing was wild.
It never stops.
It never stopped.
What was the plot? His heart rate couldn't go below a certain amount of.
Yeah. And then another one I accidentally did that with was that guy, P.S. I Love You guy. What's his
Jerry
name?
Butler.
In that movie that
300.
no Citizen.
Law-abiding.
Law-abiding citizen. That one got me all
Great
going at
movie.
like 2 a.m. I was like wide awake up till 5. Man, I can't be watching these fucking action flicks. So I watch documentaries only now. I watched the DeLorean one this weekend. It's on Apple Docs, I believe.
It's just about the history of the car.
No, it's the dude, John DeLorean.
Oh.
He is a fucking legend of a man. An absolute legend of a man. He was working, he was like the consummate salesman. Spoilers, by the way. Spoilers are coming. Because I don't even know what isn't a spoiler whenever I start talking like this. So if I start giving away too much. This dude was handed Buick whenever Buick. Oh, Pontiac. He was a salesman who was handed the Pontiac division of GM or whatever, right? Which General Motors is one of the largest companies on earth. He turned Pontiac into the Pontiac GTO era, where he was the first one to put a bunch of like a bigger engine inside of a car, and then he became just the head of GM, and then he did this whole thing where
Gearhead stuff.
Yeah, he becomes the head of GM, and the documentary has Alec Baldwin playing him for reenactments, but Alec Baldwin is talking while getting his makeup on about how DeLorean would have acted in the scene, and then they act out the scene. It's a very interesting.
Pretty cool.
That is.
The whole thought of it is that DeLorean's supposed to have a movie about him. This guy is a made for a movie because he ends up getting busted selling like 25 kilos of, or buying 25 kilos of cocaine
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
to bail out his DeLorean, his first DeLorean, which went under because he decided to double down when they weren't able to sell it. And he decided to make more, drove the company into debt, didn't want to fire anybody. So he decided to do one big cocaine thing, gets busted doing that immediately, gets caught free though, gets let go because the cops were entrapping him into making the deal, basically, which is true. They had like an old neighbor of his actually like recruited him into this. Like, hey, if you're having any issues with money, I could definitely do something, get you like 27 million or so. And DeLorean was like, I do need 27 million. Actually, my company is going fucking under. He built a car company in Belfast, Ireland, during the bombings. during like
The IRA stuff.
during the
car
Protestant and the Catholic
Catholic
wars
wars, yeah.
in Northern Ireland. He moved his manufacturing company there because they're the only people giving away land, basically. He was like, yeah, I'll go there. And then they got there, and they're like, probably a bad place to be. But they gave a bunch of jobs. He turned the place around. They liked him. And then he went under and he got busted.
Why did they ever explain why the DeLorean didn't sell? Because you would think you land a movie like Back to the Future to showcase your fucking car, and it's the coolest car available look wise. Like, why did
Spielberg called him and asked him if the DeLorean could go in it because the DeLorean had so much hype in it before it even came out. DeLorean was like a Steve Jobs, but for cars. He was this great illustrator, teller, marketer, basically. He said, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. And the DeLorean was in like 4 or 5 different magazines whenever they only had one prototype that they had built. So they had somebody just build one prototype. They weren't able to mass produce it. They weren't able to do shit, but they were already on magazines because he was the head of GM and he left to go do this. So it was like a big deal. Like, this is going to be the new sports car, the new car. And I guess the car business is very difficult to get into. I guess the last people to really crack in was like 1912 or something like that. Like, it's very difficult to get in there because it's all so expensive.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to do it. So he had to move the company over to fucking Belfast to get his own manufacturing plant because it was so expensive. And then they pumped it out at a rate that it wasn't being the quality of the car was not being kept.
Okay, that's what
people were
I
getting the
remembered.
cars and they were just falling apart like right on the spot. And it was nowhere near the original car it was supposed to be.
Have you ever driven one?
I looked them up. I could buy one for $1,250 right now. $1,250.
Really?
Yeah, I'm thinking about
Bet
doing
they're
it.
Cool.
I almost took one to senior prom. There was a kid I knew who had one. He was a
Who?
couple years younger than me. His parents owned the rink I played at growing up.
Okay.
The ball hockey rink, and they were wealthy. They had a couple Bentleys. Okay, and they bought him a DeLorean, and it just sat in the garage. So when he turned 16, that was going to be his car. By the time he turned 16, the car didn't run anymore. So,
But the outside stood because it was silver.
Yeah.
No,
Stainless.
stainless. It
Yeah.
was stainless steel. That was a big deal back then.
Right.
So I thought about buying a DeLorean. I think everybody should watch the DeLorean thing.
That would honestly be worth $1,250 just to like park it out there and never use it.
You could park in the office too.
The DeLorean with the
Yeah.
doors up.
Yeah, just have it in the
Yeah.
office all times.
It's fucking cool looking.
I know.
I mean,
They
it
are
looks like
cool
a
looking.
terrible car.
Do they all come with what do you call those doors? Suicide doors?
Okay. Suicide doors open the
I think it's
opposite
like
way.
butterfly doors?
Butterfly.
Yeah.
It's butterfly doors. Yeah. All right, before we get out of here and get you to an incredible conversation with an overnight success story that captivated and cultivated the entire country and the internet. Before we get to that, it was on Heartland Radio on Friday, so if you already heard it, get a chance to hear it again, or just turn the show off. There's always that option. Big Papi, T's and P's to Big Papi in the Dominican Republic right now. I am so bummed out about it. Late night, Sunday night, news reports started breaking out of nowhere after the Bruins slaughter the fucking Blues, just absolutely beat the hell out of them. News starts breaking, and all of Boston starts tweeting about Big Papi it was first a leg wound in a drive-by shooting or something, or in a robbery attempt, and then the video started surfacing, and he's just sitting there. Big Papi's just sitting there having a good old time, celebrating his World Series probably, talking about how much he's loved in America and in Boston to his friends in the Dominican, probably paying for everybody's stuff there if I had to guess because he's been paid like $600-700 million. Good guy, great guy. He's just sitting there and somebody runs up behind him, you see it on film, and just shoots at him twice, it looks like, or once. And then that guy tries to run away. I think he gets his ass kicked.
Big time.
And then now Papi, they're saying he's okay. And the heartwarming line that he said to the doctor, that, by the way, is legendary, is, "Please save me, I'm a good man."
Oh, man,
That's an incredible line to say to the doctor
Yeah.
after you just got shot in public in the back in your hometown. "Hey, doc, by the way, please save me. Like, I'm worth it, dude."
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Strong.
not too many people are. He is.
He is worth
He's
it.
beloved by everyone.
Yeah, very few love like the universally loved athletes anymore. And I'm a diehard Yankees fan. I love Big Papi. He killed them for years.
I think a lot of people were talking about that, how everybody around the league loved Big Papi. Everybody loved Big Papi. I mean, I only saw him on the internet, and everything he said seemed so happy. He always just seemed like such a happy guy. This is very sad to hear. Todd, you did some digging on it, you said.
Yeah, because when I was reading on it, turns out I guess they had to cut away portions of his organs, first of all, because he was bleeding so much internally.
Yep.
Jesus
So
Christ.
it did must have entered his back, I guess. So it's lucky, just luck probably that it didn't hit a vital organ or sever his spine or something. But then it went from, of course, robbery, which they first released, to then, it was this lone gunman that jumped off the back of a motorcycle and just walked up on him and shot him in the back. So now you're like, oh, that sounds like a hit. Right? So then we were all looking into it more today. Turns out now they think it was a hired assassin by one of the local drug lords who they're claiming thought that Big Papi was banging his wife.
So a drug lord thought that Big Papi was having sexual relations with his wife. So he said, as soon as that home run hitting star from our country returns, I'm going to have somebody kill him.
Yeah.
That's the stories now.
That's the story now. Now
Man,
Big
it's
Papi's
2019
camp is
and that's
nah.
it.
Well, and initially too, part of it, and I don't know, me and Todd talked about this. I don't know if we could ever confirm it, but they said that he paid off 2 cops to do it.
The drug lord did?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's 2019. Think about that. I hope Big Papi's all right, man. You would like to think that a superstar of that magnitude, who's probably done so much for that country, could go home and be celebrated and feel comfortable, as opposed to the complete opposite situation where somebody runs up on your back and shoots you in the back. Like literally nothing he can do.
No.
He was probably having a great night.
Yeah.
He's probably having a great fucking
Great
night.
night.
Just enjoying the hell out of himself. Who knows what they were talking about? And then all of a sudden you're just sitting there and right in your back. Think about how lucky he is, though.
Oh, I know. And I guess Dominican gangs
I hope he's
growing
all right,
in
man.
power. They said 120 tons of cocaine passes through that small country every year. It's the major thoroughfare for cocaine coming from Venezuela and Mexico to Europe.
Atlanta. Oh,
Incredible word, by the way, right there, too.
what's that?
Thoroughfare? Is that what you threw?
Yeah, uh-huh.
What's that mean?
Pretty good.
It's the go-between, right? So they bring it
What's
in.
it called again?
The thoroughfare. So it comes there,
The
and then
penultimate.
it's packaged and shipped.
That's the
to Europe.
penultimate destination before it gets to Europe.
The Trinitaros gang. They're ones that rule. They're the Trinitaros gang based in every major city in Europe, I guess, because of the drug trade that feeds through
What's it
the
called?
Dominican Republic. Trinitaros.
Todd, you getting the itch to go take down a Trinitaros?
So it's going
I
to be
would like-
interesting to see which drug lord they tie it to, right?
I would like the Trinitaros to know that no detectives from the PMI offices will be investigating them.
No.
lot of those
We'll
ones
have
over
nothing to do with it.
In the Trinitaros.
Oh yeah.
Zito was translating the.
That was beautiful.
The video.
Oh, yeah.
There's a video on the internet of this guy who's alleged to be the guy who shot Big Papi, sitting on the ground in the Dominican Republic, just getting his fucking head kicked in by the locals, waiting for the cops, I assume, to come pick him up. But if he is a cop, that's very interesting. And they're screaming things at him. And I was sitting next to Zito, and I completely forgot that Zito very much understands Spanish, but he just can't speak Spanish.
Couldn't speak back to him if I had to.
Yeah, and you were like, you were saying what they were saying, and it sounded like I was watching like an actual translator. And I was like, oh, this is fucking awesome. I forgot we had this little tool in the office.
He heard one of the guys yelling, hey, don't kill him. We need him to talk. Or
Yeah.
something like
Yeah.
that, right? Which that's what I was thinking the whole time. I'm like, they're just going to kill this dude
Right.
or beat him so badly that he can never be right again.
Right
And they need him to rat everybody else out.
Well, it was funny because they were saying that, and then they were literally kicking while he was saying that.
Don't kill him.
Don't do it, guys.
Don't. We need him to talk. Bang. Shut your fucking mouth. Bang. Guy deserves it.
That is crazy,
Yes.
the power of Twitter, though, and social media in general. We were able to see that video.
I feel like I saw the video of the suspect.
3 hours later, 4 hours
I'm
later?
not even. I think it
Yeah.
was like an hour after.
Yeah.
I honestly feel like it was about an hour after I saw the fucking suspect who shot Big Papi in the Dominican fucking Republic.
What a coward. In the back, too.
Right.
That's what I'm saying, man.
Dude, and that's the difference between like the Dominican Republic and Brazil, countries like that, and here for the most part is, dude, they don't care if you got a gun. They will fucking take you down. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, yeah. Where afterwards you're talking about?
Oh, yeah. That's just like a shark frenzy. They're like, oh, fuck, you just shot one of our people?
Well, they all
And
know
just attack.
jujitsu.
Yeah.
Dominican Republic?
I mean, they have some foreign martial arts there, I'm sure.
You just heard Brazil and jiu-jitsu is the only
Yeah.
thing you could think of. Beach volleyball was on TV this weekend from New York.
Huh.
It was from the piers of New York.
Ooh, dirty sand.
I bet you probably pretty clean sand.
Really, New York? They leave garbage everywhere.
Well, yeah, I understand that, but I assume they ship in the sand. It's probably like the cleanest sand possible.
Oh, I see.
It's like
gotcha.
sandbox sand, I bet.
Yeah, there's no like hypodermic needles hidden in this sand.
But I do know what you're talking about because the last time I was in New York, stepped on human poop.
Saw that. Oh yeah.
Dude,
They're
if you
on
want to feel bad about yourself physically, watch a professional men's beach volleyball.
Oh,
Those dudes are athletes.
Such an underrated sport.
great sport.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
so much
awesome.
fun.
I played in high school. I loved it. It was my favorite sport to play. Still is. Just don't play that much.
Not a lot of people do.
And I mean, to play, you have to travel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no real leagues just popping up next door. Like, hey, you want to come play some beach volleyball here in Indianapolis, Indiana? It's not really happening. That would be awesome if it was, though. I think there's some places up north and there's some places like out there, but it's like a 40-minute drive.
Is their uniform always bathing suits?
The guys?
Guys can wear tanks too, though.
Yeah, they wear-
some
Women
guys
and
wear
men
tanks.
they always rock the bathing suits, right?
Yeah, but some dudes wear tanks.
Yeah, Phil Dahlhauser, former gold medalist.
You know who that is? Real tall, bald guy.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, I remember him now.
Time for us to get out of here. I don't think that was Dak on the boat.
I don't think Dak invites the dude with the camera to his trip on a boat.
I would assume that is the case.
That's probably a good point. Yeah.
You know what we need to bring with us? Some meth head looking fucker.
Hey, you know,
Maybe let him keep his phone too. Yeah.
let's make sure that the only white guy on here is the only one with a phone. Let's make sure that's the case.
Those guys beat the piss out of that guy, right?
I don't know how that. I mean, it's just like that Uber driver that let that thing out about those hockey players.
Yeah.
It's like, I get that you probably make a few $100 and maybe get a couple of clicks, but is it worth it? I don't know.
I thought he was just jealous he wasn't getting none, and he was going to go whack off to that later.
How about that?
That actually, you know what? I think you hit the nail on the head. You're probably right. Because that girl on the end was fucking going to hammer
Oh
down on that fucking Seuss.
Wild video.
Jesus.
It was wild.
I know.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we had a conversation last week with a guy who is an inspiration to many. A man that can motivate people to do greater things, even greater than the things that those men were doing on that boat. That shit was wild, dude. One white kid on there. Of course, he has to be the fucking asshole.
Damn it.
I know, man. It's like, come on, dude.
I can't wait to watch this at home later.
There's no way it's Dak Prescott.
No way.
No.
I ain't buying it.
But that's, see, we talked about the good side of social media, seeing the Big Papi
Yep.
suspect.
Yeah.
And then there's the bad side of social
Booty
media.
clapping.
There's, you're so dumb. There is, I think the internet is a majority good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it is. It gets a bad rap by a lot of people.
Yeah.
The internet gets a bad rap by a lot of people. A lot of people judge the way the internet operates. And I can see why if they just choose to only look at the terrible things from the internet.
It was a dark web.
I don't even think most people that are thinking that the internet's a bad place even know that the dark web even exists, honestly.
boy, no, don't tell them.
I don't even think they need to know. Actually, I bought a Bitcoin the other day, by the way.
Oh, let's go.
Speaking of the dark web, I bought a Bitcoin.
Nice.
Turns out it's pretty volatile market. I think I already lost
It's
it.
very up and down.
Yeah, I think I already lost it. I think the internet is a majority good. And I think this conversation that you're about to listen to, you're going to think, you know what? That's a good conversation. And that makes me feel better about everything that's happening in this world, because if a human like this can go out there and kick the living shit out of life, I think you can too.